Good morning there, and this is Gianni from ChronicHealth, the making of a high performance individual. And the question that I had was, who do I follow and what kind of books do I read? And as far as books, all right, and this is gonna be contradicting many people, I stopped reading books, all of them. And I have read many books in the past, but I noticed and I understood, and that's the reason why it's been quite a few years that I don't pick up any books anymore, is because we need to understand that every time you read something, and even every time you listen to someone, you're being conditioned, right? A book hardly ever is knowledge. A book is just the opinion of the author. So I stopped reading books because what was happening every time I read a book, right, I find myself in this situation where I was being influenced by whoever wrote the book about whoever topic I was trying to get to. There's only one book that I'm reading right now, right? A book. And the only book that I'm trying to read on a daily basis is this book. Everything that we need to know is actually written on our DNA. Everything that we really need to understand about health, life, about everything is right here. We just don't know how to read it. We just don't know how to understand it. And we're always thinking about what kind of diet or what kind of exercise. Your body needs to be able to tell you what you need, what physical needs you have. Health, food, for example, I understand right now, max 15% of the energy that I need comes from food. That's why it's really important to dial up your diet, right? Instead of thinking that food is energy, it's only max. It's between 10 and 15% of your nourishment comes from the things that we consume. Or I consume, and as I read this body, right? If I squeeze myself like an orange, most of it is just fluid, is liquid. So if this is, most of it is electrolytes, or you can call it water, right? And it's H2O, right? What do we really need so much solid food? What we should be consuming is the kind of liquids that we need, right? Water is H2O, right? So you're already breathing oxygen, which is part of my daily rituals right now, is to always think about how do I breathe? Breathing, breath work all the time. And as you start breathing deeper, right, and deeper, and understanding that the breathing is only just through the nose, right? Then you can start playing with it, playing with the with your exhales or your inhales, right? But pretty much the number one I consider, for my particular case, the number one nutrient is really oxygen. That's number one. Talking about fluids, talking about water, right? We already figured out is H2O. Right, so we figure that oxygen is number one. Now, the other element is hydrogen, 2 of hydrogen. The universe, right, 98%, 90-something percent, close to 98%, all of it is hydrogen, right? The number one element in the periodic table is hydrogen, then you have helium, and then goes on and on and on. Hydrogen, right? So basically, you might say, well, you need to drink a lot of water. And it's not quite so, right? What I am doing right now, most of my diet right now is fruitarian, right? I eat water, filter, alkaline, electrolyte, alive, from the fruit. But where you get all your protein, blah, 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 protein I don't really need any protein. That's why I try to stop listening to all these experts who in reality have no idea what they're talking about, right? We don't really need protein. What do you mean? I need, per pound, blah, 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 protein. No, what we really need is amino acids, right? And because amino acids are the building blocks of protein, right? So that's how you build protein, with amino acids. And most of the amino acids that I get it from glucose, fructose, from the sugar, and the fruit, right? So now we also have all these debates right now. CO2 is bad, carbon is bad, blah, blah, blah. We are carbon, really, right? The solid part of this body is literally carbon. So that's another thing that we need to, and that's part of what I'm trying to do here, right? As I'm learning myself and I start learning how to read this super machine, how it works. Instead of listening to third person, you need protein, you need to do this exercise, you need muscle mass, you need this, you need that. I just listen to myself. And that's when what we call meditation comes in, right? And how so? Well, meditation is not something that you can actually do. So what? I do meditation all the time. Meditation is the less you do, the less activity, physical, mental activity you have in this supercomputer, right? The more meditative you become. When your heart rate comes down through breathing, to exercise, to breath work, to but that's what I'm saying. The less you do, the more meditative you become. The more you calm down, right? And you have these compulsive movements and thinking, your mind goes off and it's thinking about this, Coca-Cola, my mom, blah, blah, blah. It goes right through it. You can't stop it. But the less activity you have going through this supercomputer, the more I start feeling. So when people say, "But what do you eat? You need to drink, water." No. Your body is same with sleeping. You sleep 8 hours. No, right? It's all no. So what do you mean? Are you an expert? You're a doctor. What is a doctor? Come on, guys. You're an expert. Are you an expert? What's an expert? What is a doctor? I took a few tests. I went to school, took some classes, read a few books, and I got a diploma. Is that what a doctor is? Come on, guys. It's experience. So what I'm trying to do with meditation is trying to understand, and read my body. Depending how much physical, mental activity you have throughout your day, how much water your body is going to need. What do you eat? I eat this every single day. No, it's what your body needs for your activity that particular day. How many hours of sleep do you need? You need to be fully rested. Let's understand that. And the best way to rest is sleep. But in reality, right, you need to sleep or rest, or sleep, which is the best way to get restfulness, is you need to sleep as many hours as you need to be fully rested. But if you are rested, like my dad is telling me right now, my dad is an 85-year-old dude. He said, "Boy, I don't sleep that much." He said, "Because you are not really needing that much." He's concerned about that he's not sleeping all night. And I'm telling you, well, how much activity are you doing? And you, well, I woke up at 3. Well, I'm waking today I woke up at 4, I think at 4:09. I sleep, or I try to sleep the least amount of hours that I need just to be fully rested. So if I'm rested and I don't have to go to sleep, I just don't sleep. But if you are super tired, you just go crash, right? Meditation, which brings down your heart rate, right? It allows you, it's like recharging your battery. That's what meditation does. And that's what I am trying to tell people, that a practice when you just calm down. But they say, well, what are you? I can't meditate because my mind goes off. You can't stop your mind. The minute you tell your mind stop thinking, your mind is just going to go off. Right? You let your mind go. You just observe. You just meditate. You just observe what your mind's doing, what your body is doing, and stop all the compulsions. Like, let's look at my hand right now, right? Imagine your hand is doing whatever it wants. No, your hand is under your command, right? So that's how we have to control or liberate this physical or mental body. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to understand how this works, how I am centered, and what is compulsive and what is not compulsive, which takes me to one of the most difficult parts of being healthy, the compulsion for eating, because eating disorders, right? It's the number one killer. It's just what we call food. That's the number one killer. Fasting as much as possible, as long as possible, right? And then to break the fast, right? You need to just don't eat a lot or overeat or compulsive eating. You need to just nourish yourself with the nutrients that you need, just exact. And the idea, and this is gonna sound really disgusting, but my idea right now, as far as diet and nutrition, is I want to produce the least amount of waste within my body. Poop. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I don't want to be carrying around poop. I don't want to go to the bathroom to do number 2, right? So if I consume only what my body would absorb, it needs less bathroom, right? During the pandemic, everybody buying toilet paper because people will buy supplies for 3 months and they will eat them within a week. Everything will be gone, right? And then you will have to go and buy so much toilet paper, right? So that's one of the things I'm trying to avoid right now, bathroom, right? Liquids as much as possible. Juices are great. Fruit juices are great. It's great. Smoothies with the pulp, with the fiber, they're great. To break a fast, the way to break a fast, 72-hour fast, is with liquid. Is with fruit juices, with fruit, lots of water. And now that's it. That's another thing right now. All the commercial food, whether you eat meat or vegetarian or vegan or carnivore or paleo or keto, whatever diet you have, right? What we call food in reality is most of it is garbage. That's why I do only 1 meal a day. I do fruit between 9 and 10. I do my meal, a raw plant-based meal between 3 and 4, right? And then at 6:30, before, it has to be before 7 o'clock, I will have superfoods, right? And I have tried tons of supplements. I have tried tons of companies, and I have settled for one company, which is the one that I promote. And I'm gonna leave a link somewhere in the description, which is the one that I take. And I spend between $10 and $15 a day, right? Trying to nourish myself with the nutrients that I need. I don't eat garbage. I just don't, and I just turned 53, right? I've been raw plant-based for about a year, but I've been plant-based already since I'm 48. So it's been 5 years. I don't do any animal products, no milk, no cheese, no. I'm like, are you a vegan or a vegetarian? I try not to label myself, but I like to call myself omnivore. Because omnivore means that you eat everything. Yeah. So would you eat meat then? Yeah, I will eat meat if I have to, if I need to, but I don't have that need, right? But I would prefer, for example, if I have to eat meat, I would just prefer to hunt, right? And eat the animal right there, fresh, no frozen. That's too bad. And anything that is cooked within a couple hours, it becomes really starch. Anything that you cook, you kill. I don't have a need for, especially nowadays, I just don't have a need for animal products. And along the way, so you don't eat any animal products anymore. Once I went raw plant-based, right? I have not tried to go back into meat, but I have tasted. I have pieces of meat here. I'm Argentinian, so. But once you are on this side, right, and you take a piece of whatever, let's say you take a slice of pepperoni, right, your body would just react so bad. I will have a pimple on the tip of my nose. I would just have bad reactions. My body would just say, hey, what are you doing? And that's the point I wanted to get, or already got, once I went raw plant-based. Once you become raw plant-based, you understand you don't need any meat. You don't need cheese. You don't need all of that nonsense. You don't need blah, 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 nothing. You don't need. I don't need it. Right? For you or for anyone out there listening, I'm not trying to promote this diet anymore because I get into fights, right? But I preach about it. Raw plant-based is just the way to go for me. It's just a different level. It's a different dimension. Some people do very well, only kind of carnivore. They only eat meat, frozen meat. They defreeze it, they grill it, well done. I'm like, I went through that, and I have my kids, and for example, I will have a bite of pizza, right? And within 30 minutes, I'm like, I feel my body reacting and say, oh, you give me gluten. And I was one of those people not long ago, 7 years ago, say, oh, you're gluten-free, what a nonsense. It's like, we are so corrupted, we are so addicted, right, we're so addicted to food through the nose. You pass by, you smell, oh my God, this smells delicious. And it's the hardest thing I have done in my life is just become raw plant-based. The hardest thing. And people tell me, well, I can't. So you tell me that you don't eat cake, you don't eat meat. It's an addiction. It's like you're addicted to heroin, right? And you say, well, I'm not going to have heroin. Or, yes, once you're on the other side, the heroin is bad. All drugs are bad. Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy who doesn't take any pills, not even an aspirin. I don't get headaches. I don't take anything. I went through twice COVID-19. I have the Delta variant, the killer one. I'm absolutely not injected with any of that nonsense. And the first time I caught COVID, I only have tickles in my throat, and I went to take a test just because all of my vaccinated friends that were dying, right, they were all very sick, and I have sore throat, so I went to the doctor, took a test, and I was positive for 6 days with absolutely no symptoms. Right? People say, well, you're lucky, blah, blah, blah. No, you asked me what I was doing throughout the entire pandemic, and now my diet was important. It was plant-based, right? Waking up early in the morning, no drinking, no partying. I was sleeping really good. I've been taking care of myself ever since. And this is when I was 47, 48. I noticed I had a huge hole. I was losing my hair, and I have a gray hair everywhere. My diet, right? Cleaning my gut, right? Rebuilding my microbiome, right? Allow me to grow my hair back. I am not losing my hair. Well, maybe a little bit. I'm 53. I hardly have any gray hair. And if I have all these highlights here, this is just because of the sun here in South Florida and the beach and the pool. But literally, my skin and everything, I don't use protection, no blockers, none of that. Everything comes from the inside, from what I consume. And what do I consume? Cucumbers, watermelon, apples, mangoes, fruits. And recently, I realized, talking about raw plant-based, right? There are some things that I kind of cook, right? There's a special way I have to get chlorophyll. Everything that is green, right? That you eat all these greens, right? For example, I like a lot of cilantro. Yeah, so how do I eat cilantro? I don't eat it like this. So I boil water, right? Once the water is already boiled, right? I let it sit for just about 30 seconds, and that goes for everything that is green. To get the chlorophyll out of the plant, what I do is, including, for example, broccoli, right? How do I eat broccoli? I don't eat it raw. But I also boil the water. Once the water boils, let it settle for 30, 45 seconds, and then put the vegetables inside for less than a minute until you see the cauliflower, even the cilantro, green. That will become tea that I drink, with honey and lemon, lime, ginger and all that. And that's pretty much how, that's all the cooking that I do. I make tea. And this has allowed me to just get back into an amazing shape, right? Now the workouts that I do are functional. Most of them are calisthenics, and I do yoga. The exercises that I do are just breathing exercises. All my movements, power movements, lifting, push-ups, jumping, muscle ups, and my flips and my running is all about my breathing. That's all I'm trying to do, right? And it has put me on, look, I'm so alert, I'm so awake. And not only that, right? When my dad was 79 years old, he started feeling old. He started telling me, I'm old, I can do this, I can do that because I'm not feeling old. And I started telling my dad to change his diet, right? Which was really hard, but he's been working really hard on his diet, his exercise. Now he's 85, and he has changed his life. He's constantly in his garden, trying to work on the soil, on his plants, on his medicinal plants, on his fruit, and he got trees, and that I literally have changed the life of my dad at 85, right? And one thing that has helped me a lot is a meal replacement. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a link below for something that I'm consuming. This is something has balanced my hormonal levels. I can, even if you think you're eating organic, whether it's meat or fruits, vegetables, whatever, unless you're growing on your own, right? Most of it's commercial, right? So this meal replacement, pure premium, is the one that I consume after 4 o'clock. I literally don't eat anything except for liquid sunshine, power shake, which I also can do in the morning instead of fruit. But this, I get all the nutrients, all the nourishment. Like I said, it's only 15% of the energy that I need is in just the things that I consume through my mouth. And the rest is getting a lot of sun. Getting a lot of sun, and that's how you get your energy. We're little solar panels walking around without realizing it. I don't know about where I'm from. It's always cloudy. The sun is always there. The sun is always there. You're always absorbing the energy from the sun. All right, with that already, we're in 24 minutes. I hope that helps anyone that out there. I'm just trying to establish and keep record of the things that I'm doing, right? Hopefully I can help somebody out there, right? 50s is the best time of my life. I'm the best shape ever. I'm not trying to get any bigger of what I am. In fact, I just trying to get smaller. People keep saying, and I think it was Peter Attia who talks about muscle mass. Not so. Sorry to say that, but it's not quite so. You want to be smaller and strong. You want to be Bruce Lee like muscle mass. Although sometimes got to do with strength it is not. If you have all your cells right tight, right, you don't really need to get bigger. And the problem is the bigger that you get or the bigger that you are, the more mass that you have to carry around. You need to understand gravity, right? You want to be as small as possible as you age. You want to be as small. Once you start growing as big as you can get when you're in your 20s or your 30s, you can maintain, but it gets to a point where you want to be as small, as compact as possible, right? Because it's less body mass that you carry around, right? You want your organs to be tight. You want a smaller organs. The bigger that you are, the bigger your heart, the bigger your liver, the bigger your kidney, right? I want everything compact, tight, right? And for that, you actually have to reduce muscle mass. And you say, oh, you lose strength now. Actually, I'm pretty strong right now. And because I'm so light, right? And right now, I don't try to weigh myself, but I want to keep myself around 160 pounds, 165 max, right? And because I lost weight from 180, from 185, and I came down, what happens is now, for example, I do calisthenics and I'm super strong with my body mass because I'm so much lighter, right? And that's the idea. The idea that you need to have more body mass is just a myth. The bigger that you are, the faster you're gonna fall. It's as simple as gravity. Check out the description for the company that I am actually promoting, but these are the supplements, the superfoods that contain all the minerals, all the vitamins that I need, right? And this is pure quality, organic, vegan, right? And this is a meal replacement. It's cheap. It's cheaper than food, right? And what I like, there's no cooking. Well, one meal a day. There's no cooking. There's no dishes. There's not much shopping. If you open my refrigerator, what I have, which is fruit, vegetables. There's no meat. There's nothing in the freezer. Maybe some ice, but I just simplify my life, right? Mental clarity is a result of the whole entire diet. Mental clarity. The less you have, the less software that you incorporate, the less meat, the less eggs, or whatever other thing that becomes part of you, and assimilates as software. The clarity in your mind, the clarity in my mind, is just allowing me to live a better life. Right? With that, I'm gonna let you go. Johnny from ChronicHealth, the making of a high performance individual, which is simply this. If you want to be a high performance individual, the first thing you gotta stop doing is being a low performance individual or mediocre or medium performance individual. Then you become a high performance individual. I'm loving my life right now. I feel great. I did blood work. I think I keep saying that because I'm proud. 3 months ago, and all my markers were raw plant-based diet. Oh, we're gonna like this. And I'm like off the roof. And my doctors asked me, "What are you doing?" So I just told you, raw plant-based. He said, "You can't be blah blah blah." Now he's trying it, and he said, "Well, it's very difficult." Yes, it took me 14 months when I was 48, 5 years ago. From 47 to 48, 14 months. The hardest thing I had ever done is to go one entire month, 30 days, without any animal products. Once I got to the other side and I did 30 days, I extended it for 45 days, plant-based diet, right? No animal products, never went back. Never ever went back, and although I am not afraid to have a bite of this or that, once I do that with my kids once in a while, try this, that, the smell, peer pressure or society or the smell, right? And every time I do it, and I don't do it almost never, and right away my body reacts. It's like, what are you doing? It's like going back to her. No. Once you clean, once you detox, once you clear and you rebuild your microbiome, right? And your microbiome can absorb the vegetables, fruits, and all those things. Your body will tell you, listen, please cut it off. We don't need meat. We don't need milk. We don't need all that nonsense. respectfully, right? No cheese, none of that. But I'm not gonna be eating chocolate cake. Yeah, that's poison, right? But hey, that's just me now, right? Check out the description for. I'm gonna leave the link to the company that I use for my supplements and for my meal replacement. It's really cheap. It's cheaper than food, and that will give you the nourishment that you need. All right. With that said, Johnny from ChronicHealth, making of a high performance individual. Pretty soon, I'm gonna start showing some of the exercises that I do on the floor, and most of the exercises that I do are outdoors. I try to be outside, even if it's cold, hot. I don't care. I kind of stopped going to the gym. I go to the gym sometimes to do my legs, but I just don't like the gym. I don't want to get involved with all that nonsense in the machines. I can do a lot of exercises. I'm learning a lot of exercises outdoors. All right, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.